Bulletin of Oman television. First, the headlines. The Financial Affairs and Energy Resources Council reviews the general loan position of the state and discusses precautionary measures to limit it. More than 60 government officials discuss updating of governmental performances. And the results of the National Nutrition Survey recommends the importance of improving health patterns to the people. Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. The Financial Affairs and Energy Resources Council reviewed the position of the general loan of the state and discusses precautionary measures to be taken in limiting it. This came during the second meeting of the Council this year, which also discussed replies of notes and visions from state and shura councils about the financial frame of the fiscal budget 2018, which was completed with the coordination of the government bodies concerned, and the Council approved to be forwarded to the Council of Ministers. The Council also reviewed the report on the program of allocating a number of government companies and investments, in addition to discuss about specifying and purchasing treated sewage water for a number of economic projects. The meeting was chaired by His Excellency Darwish bin Ismail al-Balushi, Minister responsible for Financial Affairs, a Deputy Chairman of the Council of Financial Affairs and Energy Resources. Reviewing fields of cooperation between the Sultanate and Syria, current issues in the region, top discussions of His Excellency Dr. Yahya bin Mahfoud al-Mandhari, Chairman of the State Council, with His Excellency Walid al-Muallim, Syrian Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign and Expatriate Minister. His Excellency Chairman of the State Council expressed the keenness of both countries in developing cooperation relations, wishing peace and security for Syria. From his side, His Excellency Walid al-Muallim praised the deep relations which connected the Sultanate and Syria. His Excellency the Syrian Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign and Expatriate Minister opened the new building of the Syrian Embassy. His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, said that the celebration of the opening of the new Syrian Embassy building in Muscat is considered an addition to the diplomatic work between both countries. On his part, His Excellency the Syrian Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign and Expatriate Minister, expressed his thanks and gratitude to His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, who directed to establish this landmark that reflects the deep brotherly relations between the two countries. Aiming at enhancing the government institution performance, Their Excellencies, the Undersecretaries of the Ministries, discussed in Muscat the modernization of performance system in all states' administrative apparatus units. This came during a meeting at the Institute of Public Administration. It also dealt with challenges that face enhancing government performance and the role of regulations in making positive decisions in this regard. The participants also discussed the organizational structure, decision-making and human capital strategies. The Information Technology Authority organized an open meeting that gathered heads of electronic transformation process teams in government establishments. It came to enhance contact between the authority and government units as to push forward the electronic transformation process. The meeting reviewed a number of successful transformation initiatives. A number of specialists also delivered lectures on technology and its future horizons. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and still to come in our news bulletin. Enhancing healthcare services, Hayy Al-Jami'a Health Center is opened in the Wilaya of Assi. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres met to discuss Yemen as the war between the Saudi-led military coalition and Yemen's Houthi rebels entered its fourth year. Saudi Foreign Minister Adel Al-Jubeir said the prince and the United Nations leader had a very productive and comprehensive meeting yesterday. Prince Mohammed delivered a previously pledged $930 million Saudi and Emirati contribution to humanitarian efforts in Yemen. The United Nations said that the man discussed protecting civilians, allowing humanitarian access, keeping ports open and working towards a political settlements. Egyptians were voting for a third and final day today in a Lancaster's election that the President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi is virtually certain to win. The only other candidate on the ballot, Mustafa Musa, registered at the last minute and supports al-Sisi. With the outcome all but certain, the government has hoped to boost the turnout and show it has popular support. Voting has been held over 3 days as a way of encouraging participation among Egypt's nearly 60 million eligible voters. The Chinese government confirmed today that North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un went to Beijing and met with Chinese President Xi Jinping in his first known trip to a foreign country since he took power in 2011. The official Xinhua news agency said Kim started an official visit to China from Sunday. Xi held talks with Kim at the Great Hall of the People in Beijing, and he and his wife Peng Liyuan hosted a banquet for Kim and his wife Ri So-ju. Analysts said Kim would have felt a need to consult with his country's traditional ally ahead of his planned meetings with South Korean President Moon Jae-in and U.S. President Donald Trump. China remains North Korea's only major ally and chief provider of energy and trade that keep the country's broken economy afloat. Kim's father, late North Korean leader Kim Jong-il, visited China several times during his rule, lastly in May 2011, months before his death. Lawmakers from Myanmar's ruling National League for Democracy (NLD) said today that they were very pleased with the election of their candidate to the vacant president position, Win Myint, to won an overwhelming majority of the votes cast by joint sitting of the two houses in the capital, Naypyidaw. The 66-year-old former speaker of the lower house will be sworn in on Friday. He replaces 71-year-old Tim Kwan, who recently retired on health grounds. Though nominally president, he is below Aung San Suu Kyi in precedence. She holds a specially created position of state counselor. Back to some more local news. The Diplomatic Club organized a poetic evening on the love of the country and the leader. It witnessed the participation from a number of poets, writers, intellectuals, and those interested in national poems. The poets delivered poems praising His Majesty the Sultan and the achievements realized during His Majesty's glorious reign at all levels, including social, cultural, religious, and education fields. The event was presided over by His Excellency Abdul Aziz bin Mohammed Al Rawas, advisor to His Majesty the Sultan for Cultural Affairs. In its first meeting of the year, the Board of Directors of Public Authority for Social Insurance reviewed renewal of investment asset distributions model. It also discussed the draft of terms of references for the study to be implemented on evaluating efficiency of insurance systems. The meeting further focused on the position of a number of approved strategic projects in the second stage of the strategic plan of the authority 2016-2020. The meeting was held by His Excellency Sheikh Abdullah bin Nasser Al Bakri, Minister of Manpower, Chairman of the Board of Directors of the authority. The Minister of Health announced the result of the National Survey for Nutrition, which covered all the governorates of the Sultanate in cooperation with UNICEF. The survey revealed worrying figures related to women and children health. Due to malnutrition, 54% of children aged 9 months and 46% aged 18 months have anemia, and 4% of children under 5 years have obesity. 27% of women have anemia, and 60% have obesity. The survey aims to address nutrition issues to improve health patterns in the future. On the sidelines of the announcement of National Survey for Nutrition result, His Excellency Dr. Ahmed bin Mohammed Al-Saeedi, Minister of Health, received His Excellency Greet Kapiller, UNICEF Regional Director for Middle East and North Africa. During the meeting, they discussed a number of matters of joint concern and aspects of cooperation in enhancing health services. The Minister of Health, represented by the Department of Investments and Financing Alternatives in collaboration with the Public Authority for Investment Promotion and Exports Development (ITHRA), conducts today a symposium on investments in the health sector, opportunities and aspirations. The symposium highlights the significance of investments in health sector for the Sultanate by hosting a group of investments experts and specialists addressing the most prominent challenges facing the sector. It further aims at outlining the available investments opportunities in the health sector through the provision of medical services or pharmaceutical industry and biomedical technology. The symposium was held under the auspices of His Excellency Nasser bin Khamis Al Jashmi, Under Secretary at the Minister of Finance at the Crown Plaza Hotel. The Medical Simulation Center, affiliated to Oman Medical Specialty Board, organized a training course entitled Management and Medical Support for Crisis Disaster with the participation of 25 trainees from various health categories. The course is aimed to train the participants on dealing with such cases, as it seeks to train a large number of cadres, including all governments or governorates of the Sultanate. The Sultanate hosted the work of 34th meeting of the Permanent Arab Post Committee of the Council of Arab Telecommunication and Information Technology Ministers. The meeting discussed the Arab Post strategy and ways to facilitate electronic trade methods. It also discussed the development of post services in Arab countries and the follow-up of implementation of General Regional Post Development Plan. The meeting was chaired by His Excellency Saeed bin Hamdoun Al-Harthi, Under-Secretary of the Ministry of Transport and Communications for Post and Marine Affairs and in charge of the works of Under-Secretary for Communications. The Royal Oman Police celebrated this afternoon the opening of Special Task Force Unit in the Wilaya of Khasab, as well as the graduation of a new batch of recruits. The event started with playing the Royal Anthem by Royal Oman Police Music Band. Then the commander of the military parade requested the chief guest to inspect the guard of honor. After that, the graduates performed a slow military march. Next, the chief guest presented appreciation prizes to the graduate stoppers. After that, the new recruits chanted the Royal Oman Police Anthem and cheered thrice, proclaiming allegiance and loyalty to His Majesty the Sultan, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces. The celebration was presided over by His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Saud bin Harb Al Busaidi, Minister responsible for Defense Affairs. With the participation of 8 units, the Royal Court Affairs concluded the shooting competition in its 6th edition for 2018. The conclusion ceremony was organized at Royal Guard of Oman Shooting Field in Halban under the auspices of His Excellency Nasser bin Hamoud Al-Kindi, Secretary General of Royal Court Affairs. Some 376 male and female shooters took part in the competition. It aimed to develop the shooting skills of personnel of Royal Court Affairs. Enhancing the spread, the health and keeping in pace with the population density, Hayy Al-Jama Health Center is inaugurated in the Wilaya of Asib. The center included 16 rooms, a number of health clinics, administration technical departments which supplied with modern health devices and equipments. The center provides its primary health services daily for 30,000 people from various age categories. The inauguration ceremony was presided over by His Excellency Dr. Mohammed bin Saif Al Husni, and the Secretary of the Ministry of Health for Health Affairs. The 11th International Edition of Oman Exports Oil and Gas West Asia Exhibition at Oman Convention and Exhibition Center concluded its activities this evening. Here is a full report on that. A successful exhibition held under the auspices of the Minister of Oil and Gas and supported by Petroleum Development Oman and OPAL that featured over 400 companies from 19 countries in a 16,000 square meter exhibition space has been the Technology Pavilion and ICV Riyadh Pavilion. Apart from the 6 country pavilions, China, Egypt, France, India, Iran, Italy, Business France, the national agency supporting the international development of the French economy, also had participated as a pavilion for the first time, aiming to develop its expertise in the upstream and downstream sectors.
Hello, Druscan is one of the many companies from France, and we are a leading supplier of directional drilling software. We have many modules that are available to help optimize your drilling operations, and we also do training and formation. And this is our first time in Oman.
We are glad and privileged to be a part of this big event over here, where we get to have in under one roof all the production companies, the clients, the contractors and the suppliers. So basically this is a chance for us to put our brand in the market, to actually compete and for them to actually know about Apparatus, where we are the leading company in the country in terms of drilling, and we are the only company that has IFS.
Ogwa Exhibition and Conference has grown and known to become one of the most important and recognized oil and gas events in the region.
I represent Prime Business Solutions. We are an IT software solution provider. We are an Omani company and we are providing solutions for various kind of industries, various sizes, but we have got some special solutions for oil and gas industry.
Regarding the exhibition, it's really useful. Actually, we are facing a problem to meet our clients, but during the exhibition, we managed to meet the client face to face and discuss about the business.
In Oman, it has become the landmark event for the sector, playing a major role in helping boost government initiatives to open paths to viable alternatives to the current extraction and exploration techniques and technologies, provide a ready platform to present key projects and potential business and investment opportunities and encourage trade. And now for the general weather forecast. Around the southern, clear skies will prevail over the southern with chances of low clouds and fog late at night and early morning over the governorate of South Sharqiya and Al-Wusta. Winds will be north to northwesterly light to moderate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1.25 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The Financial Affairs and Energy Resources Council reviews the general loan position of the state and discusses precautionary measures to limit it. More than 60 government officials discuss updating of governmental performances. And the result of a National Nutrition Survey recommends the importance of improving health patterns to the people. With that, we do conclude this news bulletin brought to you live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman Television. Thank you for joining us and good night.